right. All right, folks. I'm back again with another one. And as you can see, what it says on the thumbnail, bombing plot stopped. And also, Brown University shooter manhunt. All right. So earlier on today, it appeared that the FBI got wind. Well, I don't think it was necessarily earlier on today. However, they've been looking into a plot that they've got wind of, that a few individuals were planning on setting off some bombs for New Year's Eve 2026, which, as we all know from seeing bomb going off in Boston and other places, the devastation that it can cause. So this attempt to cause mayhem, massacre, death, destruction atop of the new year was foiled by the agents and the departments that are responsible for domestic threats. So let's jump into the videos, and you can see. Before I jump into the video, let's look at the names. Let me call out the names here. Right? So for the bombing threats, you have Audrey Carroll, aka Assassinek, and Black Moon. Assigniac and Black Moon. And you have Tina Chen Ting Lee, or Lai, aka Kickware, and you have Dante Anthony Godfield, aka Nomad or Cedar. Now the fourth perp does not have any name. They have not identified her, or maybe they have identified her, but it's going to be in the actual press release. So without further ado, let me jump into that. Pull that asset up so you can see. All right, here we go.
Out in the desert. In addition to the arrests, we executed several search warrants throughout the nation. I want to thank our partners at the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Louisiana, U.S. Attorney Zach Keller, and the U.S. Attorney for the District of Massachusetts, Lee Foley, for providing valuable assistance over the weekend with a very complex and coordinated search warrants that were done. The charges we are announcing today stem from the defendants and their co-conspirators' detailed, coordinated plot to bomb multiple U.S. companies on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
Thankfully, that plot has now been foiled thanks to the hard work of the FBI and the Department of Justice. This investigation was initiated in part due to the September 2025 executive order signed by President Trump to root out left-wing domestic terror organizations in our country, such as Antifa and other radical groups like the Turtle Island Liberation Front. As the president made clear, recent attacks across the country have highlighted the grave threats posed by these far-left domestic terror groups. These threats are sophisticated, organized campaigns of targeted intimidation, radicalization, threats, and violence designed to silence opposing speech, limit political activity, and direct policy outcomes, and prevent the proper functioning of a democratic society. In direct response to the President's order, the Attorney General issued a memo to our offices implementing and mobilizing federal law enforcement to prioritize and counter domestic terrorism and political violence investigations. As a result of those directives, we built this case. Both my office and the FBI have invested substantial resources into investigating and charging these organizations. And if anyone does not believe that members of these groups are organized, sophisticated, and extremely violent, let me tell you about the plot in this case. The four defendants are Audrey Carroll, 30 years old. The pictures, I think we have them somewhere. We'll put them up here. Audrey Carroll, 30 years old. Zachary Aaron Page, 32. Dante Gaffield, 24. And Tina Lay, 41. Each from the Los Angeles area. Each is charged with conspiracy and possession of an unregistered destructive device in violation of Title 26, United States Code Section 5861D. We intend to file additional charges in the coming weeks as we finish reviewing the evidence. The defendants are all radical anti-government members of the Turtle Island Liberation Front, which, according to their own social media, is an anti-capitalist, anti-government movement that calls for their associates to rise up and fight back against capitalism. One of the leaders of the organization, defendant Audrey Carroll, helped organize an even more radical faction of the group called the Order of the Black Lotus. Each of the defendants charged today was also a member of the Order of the Black Lotus. Carroll described this group to her co-conspirators as everything radical. As detailed in the federal complaint, which we will now make public, in November 2025, defendant Carroll created a detailed bombing plot to use explosive devices to attack 5 or more locations across Southern California on this upcoming New Year's Eve. Carroll and her co-defendant, Zachary Page, led the effort to obtain and build the bombs and to recruit others to join in their plot. Carroll's bomb plot was explicit. It included a step-by-step instructions to build IEDs or improvised explosive devices and listed multiple targets across Orange County and Los Angeles. Carroll also made clear her desires. She said, quote, "What we are doing will be considered a terrorist act." Carroll and Page also discussed plans for follow-up attacks after their bombings, which included plans to target ICE agents and vehicles with pipe bombs. Carroll stated that those plans would, quote, "take some of them out and scare the rest." Throughout early December, the co-conspirators discussed their plans during an in-person meeting in Los Angeles and through an encrypted messaging application. As part of the plan, the 4 defendants plan to build test bombs in the Mojave Desert. You're going to hear more details about the bombs they intended to build and how the operation went down in the desert here shortly from the FBI Assistant Director in charge. In preparation for the plan, the co-conspirators purchased multiple pieces of bomb-making materials and discussed their travel plans to the desert. Last Friday, December 12th, the defendants took a significant step to carry out their plans. They traveled to the remote campsite, which you're going to see some video of, in the desert, and they began unloading their bomb-making materials to assemble and test the bombs. They had everything they needed to make an operational bomb at that location, and they were subsequently arrested by the FBI before they could build a functional explosive device. Shortly after the defendants were taken into custody, the FBI executed multiple search warrants, including at the defendants' Southern California residence and other locations throughout the country. I'll highlight some of the items found during those searches over the weekend. For example, in Carroll's residence, law enforcement found multiple posters and materials associated with Turtle Island Liberation Front, including posters stating, quote, "Death to America, long live Turtle Island and Palestine," and, quote, "Death to ICE, Turtle Island Liberation Front." In Page's residence, law enforcement found a copy of the detailed bomb attack plan. This case is another reminder about the dangers that radicalized Antifa-like groups pose to public safety and the rule of law. Through the tireless work of our prosecutors in my office and our law enforcement partners, which you will hear from today, we disrupted this terror plot before buildings were demolished or innocent people were killed. But this is not the end of our work. My office is committed to extinguishing the far-left terror threats that we face, and will continue to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The 4 defendants arrested will make their initial appearance this afternoon at the federal court in downtown Los Angeles. They are each considered innocent until proven guilty. I will now turn it over to the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI LA office, Akil Davis.
Good morning. Again, my name is Akil Davis. I'm the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI's Los Angeles Division. As we're all aware, we've had a busy weekend in this country and abroad with bad news incidents one after another.
Yes.
Today, we are announcing a major victory in our collective effort to protect the American people. The FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force intercepted a scheme by members of a violent extremist group we believed determined to detonate explosives at multiple businesses on New Year's Eve. Last Friday, the FBI arrested 4 of those subjects near 29 Palms in San Bernardino County while they planned and rehearsed their attack. The 4 subjects are members of a radical faction of the Turtle Island Liberation Front, TILF, a violent, homegrown anti-government group. The subject arrested envisioned planting backpacks with improvised explosive devices to be detonated at multiple locations in Southern California, targeting U.S. companies. These bombs were to blow up at the same time on midnight this New Year's Eve. The plan stated that the IEDs would be complex pipe bombs. It included instructions on how to manufacture the bombs and contained guidance on how to avoid leaving evidence behind that could be traced back to them. Our investigation uncovered evidence in that the group would test the explosives in the desert. And we're going to show footage of that here in a second. We learned that the alleged co-conspirators had recently started acquiring precursor chemicals and other items necessary to accomplish this task. In recent days, the alleged co-conspirators discussed plans to travel to the desert on the 12th to detonate the explosives. Knowing this, the FBI's JTTF and the FBI Los Angeles field office staged multiple SWAT teams, special agent bomb technicians, our evidence response team, along with the FBI's elite hostage rescue team in the desert to disrupt this plan before any harm could occur. Because of this, we were able to disrupt their plan. All 4 group members were taken into custody without incident. The TILF Instagram account publicly posts content that advocates for violence against United States officials. A recent post called for a revolution and asked for supporters to organize and be ready. The FBI, as you have seen here, can also organize and be ready. We could not have accomplished these arrests without the exceptional assistance from our partners on the Joint Terrorism Task Force. I specifically want to thank the following agencies, as you see up here today: the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, the Los Angeles Police Department, the Palm Springs Police Department, along with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. I also want to recognize the following FBI field offices as this investigation crossed the entire country: the New Orleans Division, the Buffalo Division, Indianapolis Division, and the Boston Division, who, as you all know, have had their hands full this weekend. In fact, an additional was arrest by our partners at FBI New Orleans in support of this investigation. I will now turn it over to the Los Angeles Police Chief, Jim McDonald. There you go, Jim.
Well, thank you, and good morning, and we appreciate you being here today. Los Angeles Police Department is proud to stand alongside our federal, state, and local partners today to announce the arrest stemming from a coordinated domestic terror plot. The case underscores the persistent threat posed by extremist groups and individuals, as well as the critical need for law enforcement agencies to remain vigilant in protecting our communities. The successful disruption of this plot is a powerful testament to the strength of our unified response, driven by the collaboration and tireless efforts of the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, along with our allied agencies. Together, we have prevented a potential tragedy and reaffirmed our shared commitment to safeguarding our communities. I want to personally thank the dedicated men and women from every agency involved. Their relentless work over the past several days has ensured that those responsible were apprehended swiftly and safely and without harm to our neighborhoods. Thank you. I'll now call up Sheriff of Los Angeles County, Robert Luna.
Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here to cover this, what I believe is a very, very important story for our community. This successful operation was a result of quick, proactive investigative work, and I want to emphasize strong collaboration. And ADIC Akil Davis mentioned it and gave credit to all the law enforcement here in Southern California. It is better here. It always has been. than anywhere else in the country, and we're very proud to be part of the Joint Terrorism Task Force. For us at the Sheriff's Department, we've been part of it since after 9/11. Their ability to share intelligence across multiple agencies, investigating threats like this one, is second to none anywhere else. The way we coordinate with partner agencies and act quickly was critical to the success of this operation. And like I said before, there's no other area like here in LA County with our partnership that has been here for years with the FBI and LAPD and the other law enforcement agencies around us. Since this threat was uncovered last week, our Sheriff's Task Force officers and intelligence analysts working closely with our law enforcement partners have been working around the clock to verify information, identify targets, and piece together this plot that you've heard described. Their strong investigative efforts, sharp situational awareness, and rapid response ensured that this threat was stopped before it ever had a chance to be carried out. I'm incredibly proud of the professionalism and dedication shown by the men and women who worked tirelessly to bring this threat to an end before it could cause harm to anybody in our community. To our community, I know hearing about these incidents like this can be unsettling, especially in the light of the recent Brown University mass shooting and the Sydney, Australia terrorist attack. But today serves as a powerful reminder that strong collaboration between federal, state, and local law enforcement can prevent violence before it occurs. As we enter the holiday season, a time when families and friends come together across traditions, cultures, and beliefs, this incident is a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance and to be prepared at all times. Vigils whose goal is to divide us, to instill fear, and to target the very diversity that makes our country strong. I want to be very clear, what you see here, this investigative work and the follow-up that's been done shows that they will not succeed. Our community's diversity is our strength, and protecting every member of our community is our primary duty. Whether you are celebrating Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's, or simply gathering with loved ones, you deserve to feel safe. We are committed to ensuring that safety today and every day. We remain dedicated to protecting our entire community through ongoing intelligence gathering and threat assessments, strengthening partnerships across all of our agencies, engaging with the public to promote awareness, vigilance, and resilience. And finally, I encourage everyone to stay alert, trust your instincts, and report suspicious activity. And as we always say in law enforcement, if you see something, read something, or say something, your awareness, your eyes, and ears can help us protect the entire community, as we did in this incident. I will now introduce the police chief of the Palm Springs Police Department, Andy Mills.
Well, good morning, and first of all, thank you so much, Assistant Director Davis, for the spectacular job that the FBI did on this case. We were just in a very supportive role, only making sure that the FBI had what they needed in the desert to execute their mission. But on a larger perspective, I just want our community to know that this gives me hope. It gives me hope because of the unified effort of all of law enforcement, from the Sheriff's Office to LAPD, San Bernardino Sheriffs, and the FBI working together to make sure that people like this are removed from the community so they can be prosecuted by the U.S. Attorney's Office, to make sure that all of us can live in peace. And this is what our mission is to make sure that there's hope in all of our communities. So thank you very much for the spectacular job that the A-team showed up and did.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to reiterate that. Obviously, there's some disagreements amongst our agencies over things like immigration enforcement, but when it comes to other areas of law enforcement where it matters to keep the public safe, whether that's protecting the girls on Figueroa Street or the Palm Springs investigation, there is no gap in the cooperation between the federal government and local government, and we do thank the sheriff, the police chiefs, for your valuable assistance. It would be very difficult for us to do a lot of what we do without their assistance, so I do want to thank you, each and every one of you. With that, we'll open it up to a few questions. Oh, we're going to play the video. All right, play the video.
You forgot about that.
The video is, do you want to describe the video?
Yeah, I'll describe the video. So, as I mentioned in my talking points, on December 12th, a group of individuals, again, members of this anti-government group, traveled out to the desert to test their explosive devices. They had precursor chemicals there, and they were going to create these bombs in the desert. What they are starting to do is put their chemicals and wares and the components out on the table there. This footage that you're watching is from our surveillance plane, and then what happened after this is the Los Angeles FBI SWAT team, along with the FBI's hostage rescue team, moved in and arrested all 4 subjects without incident.
We need to see the video.
So now we'll take some questions.
Where's the video?
Yeah, we're not naming the victim companies, but I'll generally describe them as logistics centers. You can think of like Amazon-type logistics centers, but we're not naming the specific companies.
I mean, don't we need to see the video? I mean, don't you guys want to see the video? Like, what happened? I thought they would have actually played the video. Oh well. I guess they're keeping things under the wraps. Maybe they don't want to show exactly the footage that they have until the case gets further in, or they have more details and then they can release the video. I'm assuming that, because I would have thought that they would have showed it during the press release. Like, I did not watch the video. I wanted to be raw and authentic and make sure that I'm reacting to it in real time and not pre-watched it before. So I guess we have to wait and see. Let's continue.
At this time.
Can you elaborate on the locations?
There were at least 5 locations that they intended to target within Orange County and Los Angeles County. Again, we're not giving out the specific sites, but they were willing and wanting to do more if they could recruit more members to their radical efforts there.
You mentioned the arrest in New Orleans. Do you think that there are other people involved, or was there some other locations?
There are definitely more members to this group. As far as who was specifically involved in this New Year's Eve terror plot, we believe we've arrested all the members who were specifically involved in that particular plot. We did execute search warrants to people who are also part of this group. As we review that evidence, if we determine that there are any other individuals who knew about this or provided any assistance, we will obviously be charging them as well. Person arrested in Louisiana is not directly tied to this incident, but he is a member of this group. And when they executed the search warrant out there, he posed a great threat to the agents. He threatened the agents, and so that's why he's under arrest.
Do you believe you warned what would have happened on New Year's Eve, or do you think there's any others that are still planning to go forward with something?
Well, obviously, the FBI has a very robust national security investigators. They look out for domestic terrorism as well as international terrorism. Do you want to talk more about your activities with the Joint Terrorism Task Force?
So this investigation is ongoing, as the United States just stated. Members of this group or associates of this group or any collaborators in this group, we are looking at as a result of this investigation. To answer your question, we do believe that we have disrupted this plot for New Year's Eve, but like I said, the investigation is ongoing.
As far as we're always looking. We're always looking for other people who might be plotting or doing this. And let this be a warning. If you can avoid being detected by the FBI or the federal government, if you think you're going to be able to design one of these plots, think again. We have very sophisticated, experienced agents, and we will find you, and we will infiltrate you, and we will arrest.
To that point, right? To that point, they have drones. And the drones are way up high and undetectable. So anyone, you, me, or anyone going out there trying to do something nefarious, they will know. And just so you understand that the cameras out there, they are operating with facial recognition software. and they'll ping your face just to maybe a randomized. But if they get any wind of your name being involved in anything that could potentially harm anyone or do any kind of movement of narcotics or weapons or anything of the sort, your ass is grass. So you're going after people's safety. There's a saying that you think the grass is greener on the other side until you get to the other side and realize the grass is dried and withered and never been watered. Right? So, please, people out there, think twice, and think twice to that thinking twice that you just did before you go out there and do something or plot with other groups or individuals to do something. You might just be digging a grave for yourself. And the grave won't necessarily mean underground. It might be behind bars. And because it's behind bars, you're going to be there for a long time. Right? A long time. Locked away in a jail cell somewhere. Right? So think twice and then think twice to that thinking twice that you just did. All right? Let's continue.
Arrest you, as we did with this group. They didn't see it coming, and each and every one of them is right now in custody. So we're very proud of the work done by the agents. Yes, any other questions?
The names are done, the operations are done. What's the relationship? The name of the operation.
Yeah,
just the name.
It's just a name.
It looks like one of the names is missing from the people who were arrested. Are you able to check that out?
Yeah, why is that name off? I think that was a...
That information is on that page, which you should have by now.
Page. That's Page. Mm-hmm. Zachary Aaron Page, 32. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, if they want to.
Did you want it?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. It's Captain Mike Bland from Media Relations Division. As I discussed earlier with you guys, the chief has agreed to give you an update on the tragedy at the Reiner family home. Just understand this is based on some updates of the tireless work of our investigators from last night and through the night. We're still at the very early stage of this investigation, but again, Chief's prepared to answer any questions and give you a brief update. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you, Captain Bland. As he said, the information at this stage is still limited, but I'll share what we can. First of all, our hearts go out to the family and friends of the Reiners, a tragic incident. Yesterday at December 14th, about 3:40 in the afternoon, LAPD responded to a residence, the residence of Rob and Michelle Reiner, located in West Los Angeles Division. At that location, they found two deceased adults, a male and a female, through the night working with...
A glitch happened, a power surge, and messed that up. So let's
Specifically involved in that particular plot. We did execute search warrants to people who are also part of this group. As we review that evidence, if we determine that there are any other individuals who knew about this or provided any assistance, we will obviously be charging them as well. Person arrested in Louisiana is not directly tied to this incident, but he is a member of this group. And when they executed the search warrant out there, he posed a great threat to the agents. He threatened the agents, and so that's why he's under arrest.
Do you believe you thwarted what would have happened on New Year's Eve, or do you think there's any others that are still planning to go forward with something?
Well, obviously, the FBI has a very robust national security investigators. They look out for domestic terrorism as well as international terrorism. Do you want to talk more about your activities with the Joint Terrorism Task Force?
So this investigation is ongoing, as the just stated, members of this group or associates of this group or any collaborators in this group, we are looking at as a result of this investigation. To answer your question, we do believe that we have disrupted this plot for New Year's Eve, but like I said, the investigation is ongoing.
As far as we're always looking. We're always looking for other people who might be plotting or doing this. And let this be a warning. If you can avoid being detected by the FBI or the federal government, if you think you're going to be able to design one of these plots, think again. We have very sophisticated, experienced agents, and we will find you, and we will infiltrate you, and we will arrest you, as we did with this group. They didn't see it coming, and each and every one of them is right now in custody. So we're very proud of the work done by the agents. Yes, any other questions?
The names are done, the operations are done. What's the relationship? The name of the operation.
Yeah, just the name.
It's just a name.
It looks like one of the names is missing from the people who were arrested. Are you able to check that out?
Yeah, why is that name off? I think that was a... That's Page. Zachary Aaron Page, 32. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, if they want to.
Did you want it? Did you?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. It's Captain Mike Bland from Media Relations Division. As I discussed earlier with you guys, the chief has agreed to give you an update on the tragedy at the Reiner family home. Just understand this is based on some updates of the tireless work of our investigators from last night and through the night. We're still at the very early stage of this investigation, but again, Chief's prepared to answer any questions and give you a brief update. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you, Captain Bland. As he said, the information at this stage is still limited, but I'll share what we can. First of all, our hearts go out to the family and friends of the Reiners' tragic.
Why that's playing, I'm going to play it in the background. I'm going to bring myself to full mass, full screen, and pull up the other assets that happened when that glitch just happened and knocked out the browser and everything disappeared. So I'm going to play that and you'll see me working, but let's continue, okay? Show must go on. The show must go on. All right, let's do this.
Incident. Yesterday at December 14th, about 3:40 in the afternoon, LAPD responded to a residence, the residence of Rob and Michelle Reiner, located in West Los Angeles Division. At that location, they found two deceased adults, a male and a female. Through the night, working with the coroner's office, they were able to identify them definitively as Rob and Michelle Reiner. We have our robbery homicide division handling the investigation. They worked throughout the night on this case and were able to take into custody Nick Reiner, a suspect in this case. He was subsequently booked for murder and is being held on $4 million bail. Pretty much that's what I can share.
Give me a second, guys. Let me just grab these assets and so I can fix this. Let me go back. And let me just do this. Let me just fix it and let the content keep playing. So just bear with me, okay? It's nothing I did this time.
Out in the desert.
So let me make sure.
Good morning, everybody. It's Captain Mike Bland from Media Relations Division. As I discussed earlier with you guys, the chief has agreed to give you an update on the tragedy at the Reiner family home. Just understand this is based on some updates of the tireless work of our investigators from last night and through the night. We're still at the very early stage of this investigation, but again, Chief's prepared to answer any questions and give you a brief update. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you, Captain Bland. As he said, the information at this stage is still limited, but I'll share what we can. First of all, our hearts go out to the family and friends of the Reiners' tragic incident. Yesterday at December 14th, about 3:40 in the afternoon, LAPD responded to a residence, the residence of Rob and Michelle Reiner, located in West Los Angeles Division. At that location, they found 2 deceased adults, a male and a female. Through the night, working with the coroner's office, they were able to identify them definitively as Rob and Michelle Reiner. We have our Robbery Homicide Division handling the investigation. They worked throughout the night on this case and were able to take into custody Nick Reiner, a suspect in this case. He was subsequently booked for murder and is being held on $4 million bail. Pretty much that's what I can share at this point, but again, a very, very tragic incident.
Can you talk about, I know Deputy Hamilton talked about the search warrant, how important that was because of something inside. Can you talk about where that played a role in this and what you guys needed in order to gain access?
Yeah, you know, we use search warrants to be able to further our investigation, as you know, on all of these cases. I wouldn't be in a position to talk specifically about what the object of the search warrant was, but it's a critical piece of our investigations to be able to ensure down the road a prosecution. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Chief Jim McDonnell, Attorney General Bill Asaley, and then the FBI, as well as local law enforcement, talking about a number of different cases that are unfolding here in Los Angeles this morning. We'll start with this. 4 people we're learning now in custody this morning in this foiled plot to bomb 5 different businesses, logistics centers they were described as, throughout Los Angeles on New Year's Eve, this upcoming New Year's Eve. An extremist group, they say, known as the Turtle Island Liberation Front, described as anti-capitalist. This group had allegedly bought chemicals and materials that were needed to test bombs in the Mojave Desert. FBI intercepted some of those text messages, found out about this plot, and went on to then arrest the 4 people who were involved.
And interestingly to note, they had a surveillance plane that was able to take video as this group gathered in the desert to try to test out this material, and those arrests were made beforehand. Now, each of these people face charges including conspiracy, possession of destructive device, and obviously the investigation will continue into this, but a significant development in terms of thwarting this plan that was set to take place on New Year's Eve.
All right, guys. So let me jump over into the next video right now, and I was able to pull up the assets, but just give me 1 more minute, and so I can do one more thing and make sure that we have everything back up. So just give me a quick second here. All right, and let me check this one. All right, cool. All right, so let me expand this one, and then let me go here, and then also let me, give me a second. I'm almost there, guys. Give me a second. I'm almost there. All right. So, all right. So I'm almost there. Give me another 30 seconds, probably less, just so I can correct this, because we had a quick glitch, and that glitch actually just caused the assets that I had up. All right. So I'm back with the assets that's up. Now, you guys just saw. Let me go back. Let me go back a quick second to the FBI at the end of it, and let me just really pull it up for a quick second.
Out in the desert.
Pause this. I want to go towards the end and play it again, so we can just.
On all of these cases, I wouldn't be in a position.
Let me go a little bit forward.
This material and those arrests were made beforehand. Now, each of these people face charges including conspiracy, possession of destructive device, and obviously the investigation will continue into this, but a significant development in terms of thwarting this plan that was set to take place on New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Okay. So as you understand now, these individuals that's on the thumbnails. Let me pull the thumbnail up. Right. Let me do that. These 4 individuals that's on the thumbnail that I mentioned earlier. Right. Audrey Carroll, aka me pronouncing that word is kind of making me tongue tie. So Asigniac and Black Moon, those are 2 AKAs. Then Tina Chen Ting Lai, aka Kickware, Dante Anthony Godfield, aka Nomad or Cedar, and in the 4th one, there's no AKA for her, but you can see. So those are the individuals, 4 individuals that the agency was speaking of, the FBI agency was speaking of. And now we're going to jump into the Brown University shooter so you can get an update and kind of like see what happened. Some people didn't know that there was a shooting at Brown University yesterday. And the stream I did yesterday, I kind of did a quick preview of it and played what Donald Trump said to the shooting at Brown University and also what happened over in Australia. So let's continue and bring up the asset now for Brown University. All right. So let's play. Oh, give me a second. Let me mute the audio.
That mass shooting at Brown University over the weekend.
Come on.
And we turn to that mass shooting at Brown University over the weekend as the shooter remains at large.
2 students were killed. Several others were injured Saturday afternoon. Now, police released a person of interest late last night after holding them for a full day.
We have team coverage for you this morning from our newsroom to the scene in Providence, Rhode Island. Let's start with our Manash Kwangwari live on Brown University's campus. Manash, what are you hearing this morning?
Well, we're being told it's an all-hands-on-deck search effort. Multiple agencies are assisting because, as the Rhode Island Attorney General says, there is still a murderer on the loose. In fact, he said that last night at a press conference after he mentioned that they released a 24-year-old person of interest that they dramatically captured at a hotel in Coventry early Sunday morning.
I think it's fair to say that there is no basis to consider him a person of interest. So that's why he's being released. You know, we still have a lot of steps left to take, obviously.
And as it relates to that manhunt and the steps they are taking, we're now seemingly back to square one. This video of the alleged suspect that was released Saturday right after the shooting, it shows what appears to be a man dressed in black exiting the Brown University Engineering building on the Hope Street side. A witness said the man was wearing a dark camouflage mask. They believe this is the person that sent shockwaves to this school community, opening fire at around 4 p.m. Saturday at the Barris and Holly building. 2 people were killed, 9 others injured. And as of yesterday, 7 of those people were in stable condition, 1 in critical but stable condition, and 1 has been discharged from the hospital. Every single person involved in this incident is a student. The university president saying she does not want to release any of the names because not all of the families have been notified. And again, information at this very point is limited. But police are telling everybody in this community they have no reason to believe that their safety is in jeopardy. We, of course, will be keeping you updated. But for right now, we're live here in Providence. Manash Kwangwari, NBC 10 Boston.
Minash, thank you. Let's turn now to our Monica Medea live in the newsroom. Monica, obviously it's been an emotional vigil honoring victims. It was held last night. What more can you tell us?
Well, I can tell you it was supposed to be a vigil, a night of celebration for the holiday season. It was supposed to be celebratory. Instead, it became quite somber, a vigil that united the city in grief after tragedy struck the school. Candles were lit, music was played, a much different tone than was planned because last night was the first night of Hanukkah. A city councilor emotional as she spoke to the large crowd there at Lippitt Memorial Park in Providence, which included students still trying to process what happened.
So much of it still feels like shock that it hasn't sunk in yet.
We got a text from Brown saying to fight, hide, or run, which obviously, as you can imagine, as young adults, this is something, the moment we've all been dreading for our entire lives growing up in a time where we've been doing lockdown drills since we were 5.
I hope that their families are getting the help that they need, and that everyone can find peace in this holiday season.
Students now head home for their winter break. City leaders say mental health resources are available online for anyone struggling. In the newsroom, Monica Medea, NBC 10 Boston.
Monica, thank you for these details.
You know, what I can't understand, guys, what I can't understand is what causes a person to be so cruel? What is going through their thought process? Why they would go out and take a gun or any kind of weapon? Because it's not necessarily the device. It's not necessarily the device. It's how the device is used. Anything can be a weapon. It could be, let's say you go to the gym. It could be a weight that becomes a weapon. You're a chef or a cook and you have a spoon or a fork, a knife in your hand. Anything can become a weapon. A car, a stone on the street can become a weapon. Your fists, trained properly, can be a weapon. Right? But I don't understand why someone would go out and harm innocent people. Now, if there was like people who are at war and you go out, an enemy combatant, and you have to do what you have to do, then that's understandable, right? But to go out and harm innocent folks just trying to have a good time, hoping to get back home to their family, going out, getting dressed, going out, laughing, having a good time, not knowing that this is your last time laughing with your friends and loved ones. What makes a person want to go out and do that to people? I am not advocating for offing yourself, but golly, if you feel so angry, get help. Go speak to a therapist. Find someone that you can resonate with, that you will listen to reasoning. Express yourself. But please don't go out there and harm innocent people. I can't understand for the life of me why people do that. And I'm 200 years old, right? So being around for 200 years, I like to say stuff like that, right? I still can't understand. You have a problem. You disagree with a group of people. You disagree with an individual. And you go out there and you harm them for what you disagree with them about. Okay, you might say that their rhetoric is causing you to be angry. But is it really their rhetoric that's making you angry? Or is it how you feel about what they're saying. And you know that you don't have the mouthpiece, the vernacular, to actually meet them on a debate and discuss it. So you just want to shut them up. So you take them out. Many good philosophers out there were taken out by covert operations. They go out and they don't like what so and so or such and such has been said, and they take the individual out. I don't understand why, but it is what we do as people, right? It is what we do as people. Let's continue.
Well, for the latest, we encourage you to stay with us here at NBC 10 Boston.
All right. So let's close this out. I don't need this one anymore. Let's mute the audio here. I don't need this anymore. And bring up the other asset. All right. So people are in mourning. They're in mourning because you can't really, you don't know when is your time. You don't know when is the hour. You don't know when is the minute or the second. Literally, you go out there and it could just be your last moments. It's sad. Let's play this. Let's play this video. Okay, let me give me a second. Let me unmute the audio.
It's a shock, complete shock, and disbelief.
Now at 11, tragedy on campus. At least 2 people are dead and 9 hurt after a mass shooting at Brown University. The school president says the 2 killed are both students. 7 of the 9 hurt are said to be in critical condition.
Right now, the campus is on lockdown as well as the surrounding neighborhoods. Students are being told to shelter in place on campus. A massive manhunt is underway as law enforcement comb campus and surrounding areas for any trace of the gunman. And just within the past 20 minutes or so, officials released this video believed to be of the shooter leaving the scene of the crime. You can see them taking a turn there onto the street. They're still working to identify who that could be and where they could be. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Amelia Fabiano.
It's a difficult night. I'm Glenn Jones. Let's give you a better idea of where this happened. Brown University's campus is a significant part of Providence, Rhode Island, on the east side of the city in the College Hill neighborhood. The shooting took place at the Barris and Holly Engineering and Physics building. That's off of Hope Street.
President Trump has been briefed on the shooting. He said this after arriving at the White House on Marine One.
All we can do right now is pray for the victims and for those that were very badly hurt, it looks like. And we'll inform you later as to what's happening, but it's a shame.
We have team coverage tonight from the Brown University campus, beginning with NBC 10's Erin Logan. She has the latest from law enforcement. Erin.
Glenn, just about 9:30 this evening, law enforcement, this mayor of the city of Providence, and all local officials gave a briefing, letting all of us know the latest details here. And as you mentioned, 2 of the students were killed. We didn't know earlier if they were students. That has since been confirmed. And 7 of the 8 people are students as well. Later in the night, they realized that there was a 9th person that was injured, but it's unclear if that person was a student. And earlier, like I said, there was a press conference. The mayor very emotional, worrying for the people in the surrounding area, but hopeful that with some decent information that they received throughout the night, that they will indeed find and track down that shooter. They're asking people who may have video camera footage, doorbell cameras in the surrounding area here in Providence, in the Brown University campus area, to go through it and see if you may see something. I'm not sure if you guys had that video at the top of the show that was released. There is video of a person leaving the area where the shooting happened in the engineering building. They're unclear right now if there was footage of him inside the building. All you see is him leaving the building. dressed in dark gray or black. They believe that he is in his 30s. They have not tracked him down yet, and it's just a very intense situation here. Here's a look at the update that we got earlier this evening, just about an hour and a half ago. Shots fired inside a first-floor classroom at Brown University's Barris and Hawley Engineering Building just after 4 p.m. Saturday.
It's terrifying to know that someone we know and we love and that we're familiar with, that we see regularly, could be hurt.
The scene was intense. Local, state, and federal officials on every street corner, including the ATF and FBI, looking for the person responsible for killing 2 and injuring 9.
Our focus right now is on supporting the families who have been affected by this. We've been in touch with their families. I will talk to them soon. But, you know, we will come together as a community and we'll get through this.
At 9:30 Saturday night, Providence police sharing information about a video they've obtained showing a man leaving the Hope Street building where the shots were fired and taking a left onto Waterman. They're trying to locate any footage of the man inside the building. He's believed to be in his 30s, wearing dark gray or black clothing. There was no gun shown in the video.
We have no reason to believe that there is any particular threat.
You know, how can a person live with themselves to go out there and pull the trigger? If someone breaks in your home and you are defending yourself, understandably so. If someone does harm to a family member and you're trying to defend that family member, understandably so. It might not turn out well. You might get in trouble. But if it's done in a defensive mode at the time, then it could be deemed as self-defense. But to go out there and just openly assassinate people, because that's basically what you're doing. You're assassinating people with no rhyme or reason. You may have your reason, but these people had nothing to do with it. But you fooled yourself so much to think that when you're angry, everybody must pay. Everybody must pay because you're angry. And I don't understand how some people can be such jackasses that they actually go out there thinking that they're going to get away. Because, dude, that did the shooting, you're going to get caught. I do believe somewhere along the way that you made a mistake, didn't cover your tracks, and you're going to get caught, right? This is just how it works. I don't have words for a person that like that. The common decency for human life is gone. That type of person is a sociopath. They will go out, they'll do the most nefarious things, laugh with you when they see you, and you'll never know that they had somebody in their cellar. Or they had somebody locked away in a room in their backyard or underneath the house. They'll come to work and you'll work with them and they'll be the most polite person. Right? You have narcissistic people, sociopathic people, histrionic people, multiple person disorder people, and you have what's the next one? Not sociopath. I mentioned that already. Psychopaths. Right? So you have different type of people. You have the psychopath and the sociopath. A psychopath will just do it and don't care the consequences. A sociopath is so sadistic. They plot and they create a plot for the plot that they have, and then they put guardrails to make sure that you can't find out what they're doing. That's a psychopath. That's a sociopath, I meant to say. Right? Be careful of people in your circle, because you never know. Right? You never know. You ever hear this? There's a movie called Sleeping with the Enemy. You could be sleeping with the enemy and you don't even know. People are so radicalized. Talk to someone if you feel like you want to hurt people. Talk to someone. I think that's the right thing to do. Because you're going to have a lot of mothers out there crying. A lot of family members crying. Because of your wicked nature. And that shouldn't be. That should not be. All right, let's get back into the video. Oh boy.
The campus area at this time.
A small campus where hours later a shelter in place is still in effect. All of this unnerving for everyone.
It just feels really surreal. Yeah, it's a really small campus.
We've got over 400 officers on the ground right now. Every minute matters. We know every minute matters.
Now, all the officials in that press briefing earlier told us that they're asking people to pay attention to the Providence media channels with all updates. Earlier in the evening, there was some conflicting information where they thought that the shooter was tracked down. And of course, students, felt a sigh of relief. And then they realized that that shooter is still out there. So this is a very active, developing situation, a very sad situation here on Brown University campus. Live in Providence, Aaron Logan, NBC 10 Boston.
7 hours since the shooting and the lockdown continues. Aaron Logan with breaking news. Thank you. Tonight, Brown University President Christina Paxton shared a message with her campus community on social media, offering condolences and thanking first responders. She says in part, quote, "This is a day that we hoped never would come to our community. It is deeply devastating for all of us. We are grateful to law enforcement for their immediate response and their ongoing work to ensure the safety of our community. Please continue to take all steps to be safe."
Now let's hear from students on campus right now, many of whom are actually in the process of finishing up the semester and taking finals. Today was day 2 of finals at the university. NBC 10's Malcolm Johnson continues our coverage from the Brown campus. Malcolm, I imagine these students are just stunned and traumatized after this.
I think many of these students still can't believe what took place today. A lot of the students were in lockdown for upwards of 6 hours. And that's really the sentiment that we've been getting from these young people, is that we didn't know exactly what was going to happen. Yes, they have practiced these drills, but when you're in a building that's adjacent or right next to where the shooting took place, and you don't know exactly where the shooter is, there is a real sense of panic that a young person, or any person for that matter, goes through. And that's kind of what was captured in the folks that we talked to today. Take a listen.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's no words.
Heartache for parents on Brown University, where an active shooter killed several people on campus.
My daughter was texting me, "Dad, there's shooting is happening outside, and we are scared, and we are in a higher floor, and people are banging on the doors, and it's like nothing on the news, no nothing. You just complete shock."
Dilshad Akalov's sophomore and senior daughters were studying in the library when the shots were fired.
We are happy that our kids are okay and they're safe, but we also it's like our hearts are sinking have sank to, it's hard to describe with words what happened tonight.
Faculty providing safety for students in the Nelson Fitness Center, just blocks from where the shots were fired.
Staff members, went through the building to make sure that people got out of the pool, people got out of the locker room, they got out of all the other spaces so that we could be in the most secure one. Public safety locked the doors that we could not lock, and then we locked ourselves in, and we stayed there until an officer came and gave us some updates.
Yeah, so that was a staff member who was really just going to the gym on her weekend so she could get a workout in, and then was thrust into action immediately to help try and get young people throughout the entirety of the Nelson Fitness Center to go into their shelter in place. And so right now we have a number of students who have been brought here by shuttle who are going inside of this athletic center just behind me here, each of them being asked who they are to provide some identification and also tell them what year student they are as well. So that's law enforcement conducting those early investigations and then searching their bags and their belongings before they are admitted, each one of them walking out with the small wristband that we've been seeing on the young folks as they have been able to leave the premises here. They are not able to leave until they provide exactly where it is that they are going and allow for the folks who are overseeing things here to feel confident and comfortable with where they will be heading next. So this is very much an emergency situation as this suspect remains at large, but here in this one specific part of campus, there is a lot of safety within the student body because of the amount of law enforcement that we're seeing here. We're live tonight reporting at Brown University. I'm Malcolm Johnson, NBC 10 Boston.
10,000 students at that school. It's been a difficult day for all of them, Malcolm. Thank you. As the Brown University community mourns, messages of support are coming in from across the region. In a post on social media, Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey writes, quote, "My heart is with Brown University and the city of Providence, and I'm praying for everyone impacted by this tragic act of violence. Mass State Police are in close contact with Rhode Island officials, and I've been in touch with Governor Dan McKee to offer our full support and assistance."
Okay, folks. So that's where we are, folks. That's where we are. I just hope that it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for the family to heal from this, because it's like every day, every few weeks, something like this is happening. Like, will it stop? When does it stop? When does it stop? People are plotting to go out there and do bombing, mass killing. This is sad. People are going out there and doing mass school shootings. How my thought is, and my question is, what causes a person to become so radicalized? And I do understand, and I do believe I know how. Right? If a person is locked away, and I'm going to tell you based on my daughter and watching her grow, and me trying to keep her away from those gestures that I look down on. Those gestures that degrade or depreciate her value as a growing young lady into maturity, into a young woman, a respectable young woman is what I always say to her. But when I talk to her and I see the way she makes certain gestures, like the gestures that they do, and they talk like this and like this, and the way that they move their heads and stuff like that. And I try to stop that, because I told her, I said, listen, those are those gestures that are not becoming of a young lady. And those of you out there may dislike what I say or what I just said, but it's true. It's true. If you watch a certain group of people and their behavior, and I was having a conversation with someone yesterday about how we are not necessarily judged, even though we're supposed to be judged based on individuality and our individual character. Our character is always coupled. Let's look at it as a micro and macro. Me, Soshai, Guard Soshai, is looked at as a individual when I'm around people that I know and people that knows me, right? But when I go out in the community and people have my same phenotype, skin tone, and such, or even the attire, we are grouped and judged based on group. It's group economics. It's group. It is group based on the culture and behaviors of that culture. You know, I once heard Muhammad Ali said something that stuck with me. He said, of all my years, I've won championship, I've been abroad, brought back home the medal, the gold medal, and I'm treated very well in a foreign country. And then when I came back to America, I can't go to a restaurant and sit down and eat. So he said, there are many Caucasian people out there. Let's use white. Many white people out there, and many good ones, right? But there are many more bad ones. So if he saw 1,000 Caucasian people all come in, and out of that 1,000, 100 of them is good, or one of them is good, should he keep the door open for all of them, hoping that the 100 out of the 1,000 is going to stop what's going on? Or will they be able to stop what would happen if 900 of them are bad and 100 of them are good? Will they be able to stop it? So he says, I will close the door on everybody to make sure I'm safe. So we're judged based on group. And when we gesture a certain way, speak a certain way, we are judged not by our character, but by the whole group. I'm a representative of my group. You're a representative of your group, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, whether it's your co-worker, right? Or whether it's your culture, right? So when these individuals go out and do these nefarious acts, what people call as cowardly acts, is that once they're caught, yes, they may be they're going to be prosecuted individually and as a group for the crimes that they committed together, and they're going to be sentenced accordingly, individually, and negotiated based on the group what they're each supposed to get based on their part in that act, whether they're the trigger man, trigger woman, driver, if a crime was committed during whatever they're doing, they're all gonna serve the time for it and pay the consequences for it. So we should be considerate of how we act, because you will cast a long shadow to you on your group. So I don't understand why people don't consider that. When a person does something, one person, and the family member or members had nothing to do with it, the family members are still investigated, because they're all like, hey, they must know something. They know something. Right? Because how is it that such and such family member, male or female, live in the house and you didn't know what was going on? There had to be a sign. Are you lying? Are you covering something up? You must know something. So you hop in a car and you're driving and they're following you. You hop on a plane and someone is on the plane with you. Right? They're checking in your background. These things happen. So these 4 individuals that you see right here, these 4 individuals, they're going to be scrutinized. And there's a possibility that their close relatives and friends are also going to be scrutinized. Every one of them. This is just how it works. Because they need to know what's going on. And in the future, when AI is fully deployed, there's a movie where they do future crime. So it's like they go in the future. Let me see if I can find the name of the movie and tell you. What movie? I was talking about it the other day. What movie that the police goes back in time to arrest criminals before a crime is committed. Let's see what's the name of that movie. Okay, it's called Minority Report. Minority Report is the name of that movie where they do future crime. So according the movie where you're likely thinking of is Minority Report, right? Time cops. Those cops goes back in time. That movie came out in 1994. They go back in time. The software predict a person will do a crime, and based on their movements and their tracking, and then they go in a time machine and goes back in time and arrest the person ever before they were able to commit that crime. And let me tell you, my friends, it is coming. Crime is going to be so predictable that they're going to be able to determine if someone is going to commit a crime, and if they ever are able to come up with time traveling, they're going to be able to go back in time and arrest the person. Right? So these folks that are going out there and shooting people, like what happened in Australia, and 16 people got killed, which was on Monday, which was Sunday our time, but Monday Australia time. went on to kill 16 people, father and a son. Then today, Monday, our time, the bombing plot that they were arrested. Also, the shooting that happened over the weekend. I believe that the shooting was on Saturday or Sunday, but it's so much that's happening. Like it is something happening in. Oh man, it is so overwhelming. A friend of mine said to me, "Shai, you sound overwhelmed," and I'm like, "Yes, I am. I am, because there's so much going on. Right? There's so much going on." Guys, it's a lot. It's a lot. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot. All right, guys. On that note, I think I'm going to kind of like start wrapping it up for right here. It's a lot, and I hope you guys can understand that. And let me give you a piece of advice. If there's an issue that you're facing, don't deal with it alone. Don't try to deal with it alone. Go out and seek help. Go out and seek help. Because if you don't go and seek help, you are going to hurt somebody, yourself. So on that note, thank you for watching. One love and respect. And remember to always question everything. Because if you don't, you may fall for anything. Think and say, have a good day. And I see you on the next one.